What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of RPGallery. After we've had our midsummer break, we are back, and Hanna, tell us what we're playing.
Shadowrun.
Ta-da!
Shadowrun.
We are going to be running the 6th edition
Yes.
of Shadowrun, the 6th World.
However, we're actually going to be playing our own version that we've made.
Yes, we're using the core rulebook,
Yes.
but we wrote our own campaign setting called Running in the C-Bus Sprawl. So there is in Shadowrun lore a rather underserved, undervisited region, and that is in the Ohio Valley, running from roughly Cincinnati to like eastern Ohio. And we took a chunk out of that and we squeezed Shadowrun out of it. So if you look at our adventure, check how big this is. Right? So we are talking 218 pages,
Yeah, over 200.
front and back. This is a full campaign setting.
Completed with maps. We got all kinds of stuff.
Maps, gear, qualities, and everything is drawn directly from the Shadowrun universe, and it fits the style of Columbus, Ohio, the C-Bus Sprawl.
Yep.
Right. So what we're going to do is we have actually sat down, we have been working with our own campaign setting, working with the book, and we wanted to take some time with this session 0 and teach you a little bit about the Shadowrun universe before we dive into it. So, with that said, Shadowrun is kind of a mix between high fantasy and cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It takes place in an alternate reality, and we are specifically going to be playing in 2080, which is the 6th World, 6th edition.
Yep.
And in this, and about the year 2011, there was a magical awakening where all of the latent magic that had been dormant for hundreds of years just sprung back into existence, and dragons emerged, and these ancient races of elves and of orcs, they had become dormant and turned human. And when the magic reawakened, they all turned back into what they were.
The goblinization.
The goblinization. There are now humans and elves and dwarves and orcs all over the place. And in the Shadowrun universe, there was another event where this guy did this thing called the Great Ghost Dance, like trying to awaken magic even more throughout the world. And when he did, it sent like a tsunami of astral energy throughout the world. And when it hit the Ohio Valley, all the ley lines beneath it ruptured. And the magical cataclysm that ensued is just referred to as the cataclysm, or the C-Bus cataclysm. And it changed the entire terrain. And so what happened was they ended up building massive 30-foot tall brutalist walls around all of Interstate 270, which is where the heart of Columbus is. And inside of that area is now a quarantine zone filled with awful magical creatures, drones that went haywire, dead spots in the Matrix, dead spots in the astral plane, hot spots in the astral plane, and places that are so complex in the Matrix because they've built back. And the whole ethos of the C-Bus Sprawl is fast and dirty. Everything is intended to be short-lived. Things don't last that long. So all of the items in the C-Bus Sprawl that are created here, they tend to break down pretty quick, but they're pretty cheap to make again.
Yeah.
And so with that, we have squeezed what people who have any amount of familiarity with Columbus, Ohio, will notice over 150 Easter eggs squeezed into this.
My personal favorite that I've seen so far is the Columbus Zoo anomaly, where it's so cool, where the Columbus Zoo has been made almost into like this extreme park where it's runners.
Well, it came alive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So,
and runners will go through, and it's terrifying, and it's like an adrenaline thing.
If you want to learn more about the setting, we are actually going to start putting some of this stuff on World Anvil, but our hope is actually to produce a book of these things. Mm-hmm. We actually have a book that we can add some artwork to, and hopefully we can actually get this thing published and you can play it. So, that said, let's back up a little bit and let's talk Shadowrun. So I'm actually going to turn this one over to Jerred for a little bit because he likes to read and read and read and read and read. And did I mention he likes to read?
Nerd. Just a tad. I think he likes to read, right?
No way. Who told you that? All right, tell us about your take on Shadowrun, Jerred.
So, I mean, I kind of grew up around like old school Shadowrun. My dad was big into tabletop games, D&D stuff like that. So, Shadowrun was one of the games that my dad was quite into. So, I have a little bit of experience, and like I said, it's a very cool setting as far as like theming because you don't really have anything that's like it, right? Like everything kind of leans into fantasy or it leans into like sci-fi, cyberpunk kind of stuff, but not really both. And so I think that's a very cool thematic thing that is kind of underserved.
I agree. It's very well written for being such a everyone wants this but no one's done it. It's very well written for its theme.
Yeah. So the gameplay itself is gonna be a lot different from what you would expect out of, say, like D&D, where you're really the only dice that you are using is D6s. When you make your character, you put your stats in, and then pretty much every dice roll is
A combination
of a skill and a stat.
Yeah.
Typically, you do have outliers where it's only one or only the other, but typically when you are doing a thing, it is you take a skill, you take a stat, you add them together, that's how many dice you get, and then you roll them. 5s and 6s are hits, they're successes. 1s are glitches. The more glitches you have, the worse it is.
So it's a narrative dice thing. So like, let's say that I need 3 successes to succeed at a thing. And then I have 10 dice to roll because of my stats. So we're just going to take that for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's throw this in here and see what we got. All right, so read those off to me. How many 5s and 6s do I have?
So 4 of those, but also 3 1s.
All right, so here's the thing.
All pink.
I did succeed. I got 4 successes and I only needed 3, but I rolled 3 1s. So that's both a success and something really bad. So essentially, I got what I wanted at a terrible cost. That's how narrative dice work.
Yeah. I think that's a very cool concept as well because it's not just it gives more opportunity for storyline as well, and consequences of those actions as well. It's not just you succeed, you hit him. No, it's you hit him, but at the same moment that your gun goes off, it hits someone else or something like that.
It's like you shot the guy, but the bullet went through and hit something you didn't want to hit.
Ricocheted off the ceiling and then hit one of your teammates or something like that. Or that really beloved NPC that you always fall in love with.
Are you going to get Linda killed again?
Linda.
All right,
Or maybe a water pipe.
There's another thing about Shadowrun is it is essentially a corporate capitalist hellscape. The corporations have taken over the planet.
Yeah, it's cyberpunk.
Yeah,
The government is everywhere. The government is a puppet.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's very reminiscent of other. If you were somebody who got really into Cyberpunk Red or 2077, it's going to be very familiar to you in that regard. Where it's that futurism. It's that robots and androids and
robot arms and cybernetics like
and body modification and corporate takeovers and
guns,
all that kind of stuff. If you are somebody who is interested in other cyberpunk things,
anything futuristic,
there will be a lot to be familiar to you. Another thing that distinguishes Shadowrun from other systems is you have a stat called Edge, and with Edge, you can use that to affect your dice rolls.
Yep.
You can spend Edge points to reroll things.
The 3 glitches wouldn't happen.
Like you can spend Edge to reroll dice rolls or to
by yourself.
add to your dice rolls or all kinds of different things that you can do.
Here's the wise thing that I should have done, because since I only needed a success of 3 and I had 10 dice available to roll, I could have done what was called buying out the roll.
Yes.
Which means I would have just passed it.
Yes. So that's another thing. You can spend 4 dice to just take a success.
Yeah.
So with that, if you had 10, you could spend 8 dice and get 2 free successes and only have to roll 2 dice and succeed on one of them.
Yep, and let's see what happens. I could not throw dice everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I still failed, but I
But
have
you
no
have edge.
glitches.
You have
And I
edge.
have edge. And I failed. Another one. Nope.
You're done
No,
for.
I'm done.
Something catastrophic.
It's only one.
No, that's only one glitch.
Almost
Catastrophic.
But that's the thing. So you have edge. You'll gain edge through various different things. Sometimes you'll have qualities that'll say, hey, when you do a certain action, get an edge. Or in combat, when you're comparing attack and defense, if your attack is higher than their defense, then you're going to get edge depending on how much. You will get some edge for that. Various different things, and that's kind of how you influence your dice.
Well, there's another really important thing. The world is in layers in Shadowrun.
Yes.
So you have the natural physical world, but beneath that world is another world of magic, and that's the astral plane. But then on top of that, you have a digital overlay called the Matrix. And using data jacks and comlinks, you can actually see augmented reality through the Matrix. So instead of having graffiti on the walls, people might get into the Matrix and actually create digital graffiti that someone who's walking around can see with their comlink that other people can't see.
Yeah.
It is a world where cybernetics are incredibly common, be they aesthetically or for a function.
Yes.
So, like for example, the character that I'm going to be playing has not like a crazy amount, but he's got a couple cybernetic pieces. And there are those themes of like humanity involved, where the more cybernetics that you have, the more of your human essence that you lose. And if you lose too much of it, it will have detrimental effects.
Yes.
It can kill you. Kind of like just similar in concept to like cyberpunk, for example, where you have cyberpsychosis, where if you have too many cybernetics and you lose that piece of your humanity, you go crazy. Wow.
You start attacking people that you didn't want to attack.
So
You go berserk.
So there's a lot of really cool things about Shadowrun. Like I said, I love myself some narrative dice systems. I've always been a big proponent of, say, that or some of the other systems that me and my friends like to run at home. And
there's another cool thing about it. So the thing is, like, the world of Shadowrun is huge and it encompasses the whole planet. So what we've done is carve out a little slice of an untouched portion of the IP. And I think we should touch a little bit on that because most of the people that are watching this will already be familiar with Shadowrun. So that little bit of an introduction to it is for you who don't know what it is.
Oh, one more thing that I do have to add. Another thing about Cyberpunk 2, but about Shadowrun and a lot of other systems like it, death is ever present.
Yes, it's easy to die.
It is easy to die if you have a few bad dice rolls.
Yep. Make some bad decisions.
You will die, and your character will be gone, and that's just
the number one cause of murder in the number one cause of death in the Shadowrun universe is murder, and the number 2 cause of death is better than life chips. It's almost like a drug. It's a computer chip that you jack in and experience someone else's life.
When I mentioned the zoo anomaly, within the C-Bus Sprawl, we have things called the Henrys. It is almost like an adrenaline gang. So what they do is they will do crazy adrenaline-fueled activities such as parachuting, going through the zoo anomaly, and trying to escape.
Not just parachuting, but base jumping off a skyscraper.
Anything that is life-endangering and adrenaline-pushing. Then they will sell those
BTLs.
Yeah, BTLs was the they'll sell those for crazy amounts of money. And then when it comes to other people using them, the amount of whatever is going on that BTL, you feel. So any pain, stress, emotion,
it can kill you.
It can kill you.
It can be addictive too.
My best way to describe it is imagine a movie that you live through.
Yeah, that's a good explanation. So, the Henrys in the C-Bus Sprawl setting are a group of basically daredevils that go and do really stupid stuff, and they record it. So let's talk a little bit about the Central Ohio things. So inside the quarantine zone, there are some neighborhoods that survived. They walled them in, and they call them hoods. There are some that are inside the quarantine zone, some just outside the quarantine zone. But the way that culture held together after the cataclysm was your friendly local game stores.
Page 24.
We actually, because we play in the guard tower and there's 2 locations and we're clearly sponsored by the guard tower.
Thank you.
We have something in the setting called the Guard Tower Network. Every hood has its own guard tower, and it's sort of become almost like a political affiliation mixed with a religion. They don't allow technology or magic inside the guard towers.
Like a neutral zone.
They don't allow the violence at all, ever. And they don't allow divisive political talk.
Like a main hub.
Right.
Of everyone meeting up.
And the punishment for violating those rules is permanent exile, which in the C-Bus Sprawl is a death sentence. You will die. You cannot live out there for long. And, I mean, there are a few crazy people that do. And the Henrys might try, but it's crazy. So another thing that's happened is the Columbus Zoo anomaly. There, in our setting, were some aliens studying life at the zoo who lived in Powell, Ohio, as a suburb of Columbus. And when the cataclysm happened, it killed most of them. And their experiments came alive, and now the zoo is one living entity, even the ground you walk on. And we can get into that more. You watch this.
That's got to be my favorite part of the whole setting is the zoo anomaly. It's
the zoo
really,
anomaly is
really
great.
Cool.
There are locations that got overrun. You'll find there's a suburb called Bexley. It's not even really a suburb. It's inside the outer belt. But they tried to establish a hood there and couldn't. The magic was too diffuse. And so there are people that live there, but they live inside the magical hotspot called the Bex.
Mages, a loose collective of powerful hermits are known to trade magical knowledge or services, but their price is always steep and often strange.
Yes. So another big thing that happened, and this is major, is the Ohio State University merged with Battelle Labs and formed something called the Ohio Research Institute. And they have 3 divisions. The first is the Bucks. They're the financial division that makes all the money. And then you have the Eyes, because it's the OSU Buckeyes.
Yeah.
But the Eyes are the R&D division that come up with new technology. And then they bought the Columbus Police Force, and they call those the Brutes, like Brutus Buckeye.
Yeah, okay.
So ORI, O-R-I, have developed anti-magic technology. It is new, it is unstable, but they're not opposed to magic. They're opposed to chaos, and they want to impose order.
Yeah.
And so they actually started building these electrical substations that suck the magic out of the realm around them and turn it into a power generation source.
My stance stands. Boo.
Yeah,
I think it's very much if you're not with us, you're against us kind of thing. And it's like it's not that we dislike magic, but we distrust it. And if you're not one of our special magic users, well, then we're just gonna have to deal with you.
Yeah. Now, their opposition is an organization called MRI, M-R-I, the Michigan Research Institute. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Michigan Research Institute?
Michigan Research Institute. All right, what page is that on? Let's see.
While she's looking that up, so they are the opposite of ORI. MRI, they believe that magic is something to be embraced, and they want to use it to overcome technology. So you have one group that has figured out how to destroy technology with magic, and you have another group that has figured out how to destroy magic with technology. And the C-Bus Sprawl is that war zone. So inside the C-Bus Sprawl, if you are not in a fortified hood, you could run into magical anomalies and rogue drones. It is one of the most dangerous places on the planet. You never know what you're going to run into. Go ahead.
So, I know what we just discussed, but I have to mention this.
Okay.
Off-campus parking.
Oh, we'll get to that. Okay, next to Ori is a large strip of what is today like housing and businesses, but it also includes where the Oval and the Student Union are.
Please.
And it's formed a region, a hood, named off-campus parking.
Or OCP.
Or the OCP. That's where people go who are immigrating to the area. And
The description. There is no governance here. Off-campus parking is truly a lawless zone.
Yes.
Orders maintained block by block by brutal gangs. manipulative fixers, and occasional well-armed community groups. The brutes will enter to protect their CMEC terminal and ORI patrols the wall of their campus, but neither group cares what happens more than 10 feet from their assets.
Yep.
It is.
Jade's like,
It is a lawless land.
It's my favorite because it is both hilarious because most of the book is serious and death and destruction and blah, 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 blah.
There's a lot of flavor in there.
Off-campus party, just the connection to... Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
It really is, though, right? What is currently the Short North has become the Columbus Underground, and it's literally an underground haven of dwarves that has built subways and everything to connect underneath the city.
Sure.
So above ground, they have this little strip where the Short North is, but below ground,
It's all
they've
below
spread
ground.
far.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Franklinton, which has now become the C-Bus Art Collective.
Yeah.
And they are rebels and anarchists that use art, but digital art,
Or
as
you
their
have,
medium of rebellion.
Pickerington, named Picktown, or The Last Stop, which is a council of elders, mostly grizzled survivalists and pre-collapse homeowners, governs with a simple code. Everyone works, everyone fights.
Yes.
Jade, you had a job.
Oh, what am I looking for?
Yeah, you're looking for Emery. Okay, so while she's continuing to look for Emery, Circleville is now called the
60.
Circle, and it's a haven of mages that worship the Great Pumpkin.
They're a cult.
They're a cult. Yeah. But the Great Gourd, as they call it, is actually alive and sentient.
They're not a cult, they're a religion.
Yes, keep telling yourself that. So, the city of Dublin has now become a militant homeowners association.
Which
And HOA.
Yeah, so Upper Arlington has become UA, and UA, they put up walls that they project the old world onto through AR, and they pretend that nothing happened.
So it's like a big delusional.
Yeah, it's a giant delusion. All of the
It's
hospitals in Central Ohio moved to where Children's Hospital is and formed something called the Medplex. So
That's
now
very cool. That's very cool.
it has a footprint 3 times the size of the children's campus, and it's 40 stories tall everywhere, and it's its own self-contained hood. Just south of it, German Village. They locked down, and there's rich people that live there. But the big deal is the best and the brightest moved to 2 different locations. West Jefferson, now called the Jeffs, and Newark, called NERC. So in the Jeffs, everything's built up above ground, running from about eastern West Jefferson to western London on the map. It's all skyscrapers now. But over in Newark, which is now about the size of what the greater Columbus area currently is inside the outer belt, they dug down. Almost everything is below
All of
ground.
NERC is underground, yes.
And it goes 80 stories down, and there's massive data centers, and there's these vents the size of city blocks that pull fresh air in or blast nasty air out. So NERC smells awful.
Yeah. Think like Zon from like Arcane, right?
Yeah,
Where it's
Yeah.
like-
yeah.
It's very polluted and what have you, but there's systems in place to,
Try to keep it that
Try to
way.
keep it alive at least.
Yeah. And it flows. you
Yes. So, I mean, and that's not everything. You'll learn more about it as we go, but that's the gist. It is a very rough and tumble and dirty thing that's caught in the midst of this tech magic
know? Right.
war.
Absolutely.
So, laid across that backdrop, the 10 corporations are kind of taking this, I don't want to get my hands dirty, we're going to hire other people. So, they have a presence here. But they do not overtly take any direct action. That's where Shadowrunners come in.
Oh, yeah.
Because they do want their involvement,
Oh, yeah.
but they cannot have their hands in this.
Don't trust corpos.
Yeah, like they just straight up like, hey, you remember what happened in Chicago? You do it.
You do it.
So they actually work with Ori more than anything, but some of them might work with Emery. And now one of the big things that's happened is that the crime syndicates, because of the decentralized government, there is a central government, but it's really a puppet state. The decentralized culture is a better way to describe it, has actually worked to prevent organized crime from the big syndicates, but they're trying.
Well, I mean, there's always money to be made. And
Yes.
when there's money to be made, those people will.
They will sneak in,
Yeah.
but their presence is is very covert, much more so than in any other area.
Yeah, I'm sure that they probably operate with like a small scale operation that is kind of a whole like subsidiary kind of thing where it's here's this group of people that are doing organized crime things, and like yes, they work for this big overarching thing, but like if anybody asks, no, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah, exactly. So, you'll find then that different. One of the big ones is like the hills, right? It used to be the hilltop, but it's led by essentially a cult leader who is like a fake it till you make it guy. Everything there is fake. The wood is fake. Everything, even the chrome. It's not real. It's plastic painted to look like chrome.
Yeah.
And so it's like the biggest hub of counterfeits in the Midwest.
Makes
Come
sense.
straight out of the hills, right? So there's little pockets of things that are truly reminiscent of actual Columbus, Ohio, but the C-Bus Sprawl is
It's a monster
own
all in its
monster.
own. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We have multiple pieces of original weapons and gear and qualities.
Oh yeah, all the weapons and everything are so cool. They're all like specially made for, especially some of this. I know I have, what is it called? It is a howler.
So the howlers are mutated coyotes that were magically mutated, and they will howl to one another as a form of communication. It is literally as effective as speech.
Howler scream box, which is a sonic weapon.
Yep.
It mimics their sound and does like sonic damage to my opponents as well.
So sonic damage is generally like stun damage, but when it comes to the magical entities that live in the sprawl, that's the one thing that drives them away, because bullets don't harm a Wendigo.
Yeah,
Not much.
we all know that.
Yeah.
And then it's so cool.
So that's the other thing is a lot of the Native Americans, so the Native Americans themselves almost all became awakened, right?
Yes.
But then all of their ancient stories came to reality in the C-Bus Sprawl. So you may find from some of the northeastern tribes Wendigos. You'll find the Cherokee of Tana.
Yeah, well, that's something that we did kind of forget to touch on is when this magical awakening happened, a lot of these Native Americans that held to those old ways reawakened as well. And so, these things that were stories weren't just stories anymore. These are things that happened in
Became
the
reality
past.
very fast.
Magic and shamanism were things that reawakened and came back to the world.
Very
And
quickly became reality again.
yes.
Can I share one of my favorite things though?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
So in our setting, the Honda plant became Mid-Ohio Motors, MOM. And they have they have multiple different types of vehicles that are in our setting. Why don't you read the one that you bought for your character?
If I can remember.
You guys are gonna love this because there's an acronym in it. But when you think about the Honda Odyssey, what comes to mind?
Soccer mom.
Soccer mom. Yeah, soccer mom.
All right.
All right, here we go. Read it.
The ultimate family vehicle for a world gone mad. The Soccer Mom suburban operations commuter coach for everyday runs is a minivan built like a bunker. Soccer Mom.
So her character actually owns a soccer mom minivan. So there's a lot of things like that.
Gonna get all
in
her
our
kids
setting.
to school in the morning and blow stuff up at
He
night.
doesn't have kids.
Yeah. And so we hope that you really like this setting. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and actually dive into the characters that we created so you can understand them before we start playing. So since this is your show, why don't you do the honors?
Okay. My character's name is Ash, inspired by our lovely Ash here.
All right.
They are a 26-year-old human female, and they are from Circleville.
They're from the Circle. You're a cultist.
Escaped cultist.
Okay. How did you escape this cult?
So she was going to be sacrificed
To the Great Gorge?
to the Great Gorge.
Okay. It does require annual sacrifice. It demands sacrifices.
It does. So her story was that she was picked up from a hospital as a baby by one of the cultists. And she was raised to be the sacrifice one. when
So like on your 18th birthday, you're going to be
more like her
sacrificed.
25th birthday.
Okay.
I guess 26 since she's 26.
Okay. Or maybe she's been on the run for a minute.
Yeah, maybe she's been on the run for a while.
Okay. So they were going to feed her to the Great Gourd, and she escaped.
And she escaped on the night of her sacrifice.
All right. How'd she pull that off?
Well, that is quite the story. Right as she was about to be dropped into the pumpkin, she grabbed the shiv that she had stashed in her pocket, cut the rope, and acrobatics her way out of the way of
so
the
just kind of
pumpkin.
jumped off the pedestal where you're about to be thrown into the pumpkin?
Pretty much, and then used whatever magic she had and just escaped.
So she is a full caster, correct?
Yes, she is.
All right.
She didn't know what magic she had at the time. She just cast aimlessly. She didn't know any spells at the time, really, except for what her mother had taught her.
Did the asphalt weep?
The asphalt did indeed weep.
We made a spell called Asphalt Weep, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, continue. Tell me a little more.
So on her escape, she grabbed a pumpkin shield.
So a shield made out of the rind of the great pumpkin.
Yes. And that was her only thing that she grabbed on her escape, and she has been running ever since.
Okay.
Every now and then, the shield seems to talk to her, though. Maybe she's just going crazy, though.
Yeah, that's possible. And so she has now made her way to off-campus parking.
Yes, to get a SIN number. She does not exist because she was stolen.
Never given a SIN number.
Yeah, she was stolen before her SIN number was given to her.
Okay, so the thing with off-campus parking is they have every month a naming day where you can take on a new name, adopt a new identity as part of being an immigrant and getting kind of acclimated to the C-Bus Sprawl. And so your character, where we're going to begin, is on her naming day, right?
Yep.
That sounds great. So in our setting, the Newport Music Hall has been turned into an immigration office. It's the Newport. Right? Okay, so that sounds awesome, and I am really excited. It sounds like your character is probably going to be an Emery sympathizer, you Wolverine. Yeah. Disgusting. All right. How about you, Ash? What you got?
Don't be disappointed. He is a celebrity. He paints miniatures and has a reputation for that.
Okay, so the thing with that, in the C-Bus Sprawl, because the game stores were central to the preservation of culture and minis became rare, people who could create and paint minis became celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
And minis became a top dollar sign of wealth.
Absolutely.
So your character's a miniatures painter.
He is.
All right, continue.
He's even swapped out his eyes for some chrome so that he can get real good details on
Fine
them.
detail. Okay.
Yeah. But his stats are kind of mediocre. He doesn't specialize in anything. He's a jack of all trades, master of none, and is quite bland in appearance. So he doesn't.
He just looks like everybody. You're like, oh, he was a dwarf. Was he? I don't know. There was a dwarf here yesterday. That kind of thing.
Yeah, very hard to persuade people. It's like, no, I am famous. You've heard my name. You've seen my
Until
work.
they see the work, and then they go, oh, wow, that's and they'll say your name. And you're like, yeah, that's me. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Otherwise,
okay.
under the radar.
All right, that sounds wonderful. Tell us a little bit more about your character. They're from the underground?
Correct.
Okay. So what brings them out of the underground to get around the city? Is it their miniature sales?
Yeah, he's been doing work with the guard tower, so he's even got one of their guns. He's got a game knight, Knight K-N-I-G-H-T, that he travels with.
So the game knight in our setting is one of the drones. It's a humanoid drone that actually assists with tabletop gaming. It's basically a DM that will DM for you to play. And inside of our lore, we actually have Shadowrun. It's a game called Sprawl Masters.
Gameception.
And people play it.
Yeah, tabletop gaming inside Shadowrun, inside the C-Bus Sprawl, being one of the main ways of connection and
In the C-Bus Sprawl,
socializing
yes.
in the C-Bus Sprawl. So this is how people connect, let loose.
Yeah.
Almost like most people gamble with cards and such like that. In the C-Bus Sprawl, we tabletop game.
They will play Sprawl Masters for money. And then the miniatures that they use to play it are celebrity status.
Who wants poker cards when you could play D&D?
Right. It's not D&D, it's
Sprawl
Shadowrun.
Masters. When you could
Sprawl
play
Masters. And so that is in the game. So you have one of the Game Master drones. You make the miniatures. So your character's a nerd.
Very much.
All
Very
right.
rich nerd.
A rich nerd. Okay.
It still passes under the radar. It's like a Tony Hawk. Like no one recognizes him for
No, I know
years,
you
but
from somewhere.
They recognize his work.
You're like, I'm Tony Hawk. No, you're not.
Uh,
All right, tell us about your character.
Okay, so I am going to be playing the character Maximilian Diedrich. He is a orc, mid to late 20s. He's very much a punk.
Okay, okay. But he comes from where?
The German village.
How is he a punk from German village?
So it's mostly that like he grew up there, you know.
All right,
his
all right.
his family was running a brewery.
So he's a rich kid that wants to pretend he's a poor kid.
It's less that. It's more so that like you just don't understand. Was not satisfied with the life that he lives because I mean.
So he's like Lil Dicky. It's like, I started my career with my bar mitzvah money, but hey, don't hate. It was just a different kind of trap.
I look at it like this. Growing up where he grew up, people were not crazy fond of orcs.
Right.
So
right,
he's
right.
very much tinged by that like dislike of people mistreating other
And that's
people.
one of the things too about the C-Bus Sprawl is that it's so bad out there in the quarantine zone that people have just kind of gone, you know what, you're different, but fine, we're gonna get along because without you, we're both gonna die.
Yeah.
So they set aside a lot of the racial differences, but they still don't like orcs.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, whatever,
There's
dude.
nothing I can
Let's
go about
work
right now.
together.
So
So he very much has had his kind of ideologies influenced by that, and so he very much has that like those punk ideals. Yes, he has a little bit of money. He's like middle class, right? Like
Yeah.
his family, they got by. It wasn't pretty, and so he's a decker.
Okay,
He's
okay.
very good at hacking. He's very smart. He's going to be very interesting because what you think of an orc, he's mostly not. But
he's a rich
brick,
kid.
But he's built like a brick house.
All right.
You know what
all
it
right.
reminds me of? You know Ferdinand, the giant bull that loved flowers? That's what it reminds me of.
It's kind of similar, yeah. He's very intelligent. You look at him and you
For
look
an
at an
orc,
orc and you
wow.
don't think yeah, like he's gonna be smart, but he's very intelligent.
He got that German village book learning.
Yeah, but he's also not afraid to get up and mix it up. I mean, he's got like a strength 6, body 6.
Because he grew up in the shadow of
He's
Medplex.
He's built like a brick house.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, he's got some chrome. He's got some eyes. He's got data jack in his head.
You said you had a bunch of drones.
Got quite a few drones. Yeah,
All right, all
yeah.
right.
I've got a couple flying drones. One's a scout drone. One's more got weapons on it.
And so you have some that are a mix of both the core book and of the C-Bus
Yes,
Sprawl tech.
yes.
Because all the core book tech does exist in the C-Bus Sprawl. It's just like Columbus, Ohio is a test market.
It's almost like an expansion.
Yeah, it is. But in the same way that Columbus is a test market where they bring all the new gear, that's what we tried to encapsulate. It's a test market. So there's a lot of devices that are situationally very powerful.
Yeah.
But every single one of them has a potential drawback that can also be very powerful.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got his own cyber deck and he's got all that kind of stuff. He hacks. He does all that. And yeah, like, he knows Orc. He knows German, and he knows English.
Wow. I mean, fitting. Okay.
Yeah. So he very much holds to punk ideals. He very much has that aesthetic going for him. The mohawk and the vest and all that kind of stuff. Combat boots. And
So how does he feel about tabletop gaming?
I mean
He
pretty
dabbles.
indifferent. I mean
Dabbles.
Does he dabble?
dabbles. He probably dabbles. Yeah. I mean,
Does he own any miniatures?
I think he put a little bit more money into his setup.
Okay, so he's got decent chrome.
He's got decent chrome. He's got decent technology. So he probably is somebody who is very much into the more plugged in BTL kind of thing.
All right, so then he would be more of a follower of the Henrys.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit closer.
right.
He's not really as interested in the adrenaline junkie side of things. But it's just like, every so
How
often
does he
it'd be
feel
wrong.
about Howlercore?
He probably doesn't mind it. I mean, like I said, he's big into punk music and that kind of thing. So
We developed a new kind of music for the C-Bus Sprawl called Howlercore, and it's actually based on the sounds made by one of the monsters, the howls of the mutated coyotes known as howlers. Now they're not just like ooh, they're literally like these guttural, growling howls.
Yep.
And so what's happened is they've kind of blended rap with heavy metal with the howling growls of the howlers and made this electronica rap metal with digitized versions of the howlers howling, and that is the music of the
new
C-Bus
genre.
Sprawl. It's a whole new genre.
I fully expect Jade to try to pull off the howls.
I'm
I
ready.
expect it.
I'm
Now,
ready.
speaking of, so they like Howlercore.
yeah,
Would your character have known who Jade's character is? We'll get into that in a moment.
that is a distinct possibility.
Okay.
I have not ruled it out.
Well, tell us a little bit about your character, Jade.
All right. My name is Ziri. I am from Northland.
So you're from Northland, and
yes.
in Northland, in our setting, that is where like Linden and Sharon Woods and like Forest Park, Devonshire, all that kind of merged into the area between Morse Road, 161, Cleveland, and Carl.
Yeah.
And then they built upward. And
Yeah.
so it's ruled by 3 gangs.
Yeah.
Is your character a part of one of the gangs?
They are not.
And tell us about that. Why are they not part of the gang?
So my character is very much a free spirit.
Okay. So like, gangs are stupid.
Yeah, a street samurai Shadowrunner.
Okay.
So very much into the underside of things, very illegal things.
Okay.
And then I also run a howler band. So I'm the lead
So
singer,
you're the front woman of
front woman of a
a
howler band. Absolutely, howler core band. So
and that's why you have sonic weapons.
I do. I have sonic
Nice.
weapons, and I also have cybernetic earpiece
Okay.
that has multiple different features to it, like dampening and sound link and such like that. So I feel like music and sonic and sound in itself is a big part of my character.
So you're kind of a local celebrity.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you stick out like a sore thumb,
Everybody-
where no one ever like. You're like, what was your character's name again?
Bristle.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, I'm Bristol. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's Siri.
And not to mention that one of the qualities I took was distinctive look.
Ah.
So the cosplay coming out for this one is going to be very fun.
So we actually invented our own style.
Oh yeah.
For that.
Rust chick.
Yeah,
Sure do.
Rust Chick, which is a mix of like industrial metals and circuit boards attached to somewhere between like punk and biker meets thug. And we really like it.
It's cybernetic, but it's all scraps of stuff as well.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
putting stuff together on your own and all that. So I love the style idea of it as well. So a lot of the stuff that I have is Howler Core, which is my aesthetic. I love it. It's great, and I'm very excited. So again, the music is based off of those creatures that you see all the time. That no one wants to interact with, but so we play at shows and stuff like that. So that's my main source of income as well. Is the Howler Core or the Howler?
I think that's where we're going to actually start this. So with Shadowrun, it's not designed to be a big overarching adventure.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a series of standalone adventures
Yeah, so
where
it's
you
like
can
one
build
shot,
your own story.
yeah.
Now, we are going to stay with this and treat it like an adventure, but it will be one-shots every single time.
Yeah.
Right? So every episode is a standalone
It just
episode.
keeps building, and then you build your own story
Right.
off of that.
So what we'll do with each episode, we will play that one shot, and then we'll say there is maybe a week or two of downtime, or maybe like a week before the next one, and that way we'll be able, probably maybe longer than that. That way we can stretch it out and cover all the
Yeah.
seasons
I was
because
gonna say, it'd be really cool if we go through all the sections
Yeah.
of the C-Bus Sprawl, like going through Zanesville,
I
the
definitely
Kiln.
agree we should go through all the seasons.
Yeah.
But even like the yearly seasons, like they each come up with their own kind of
Like the Black Snow, I believe
Weather.
is what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's not to say that, like, there might be some bigger things that might take a session or two to chunk through sometimes. That happens sometimes. But for the most part, it's very much going to be one-shot-esque, kind of bigger overarching thing, but
here's where
we are, and here's this kind of like, you know, if you miss a week, you're not missing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there will be a story that I'm going to weave through all of those, because that's what we do here is the art of role play.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
So we're going to get into the role playing on this. I would absolutely love y'all showing up for cosplay. Great, fantastic. Actually, she was talking about making her own Rust Chick fashion jacket.
I want to do that.
Now
oh
that
my
you
gosh.
said on camera, I'm accountable.
I really want to make my own
you are.
Sonic gun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a Nerf gun. I'm going to sand it down and all that. I'm going to have speakers like itty bitty like
You're going to attach
come out,
speakers
and
to
then
it?
a microphone on top. And I'll just be like that's going to be great.
That's
You're
so
gonna love it.
ridiculous.
It's going to be great. It's gonna be wonderful.
Okay. All right. I can see it.
Look what you've made.
All right. I see the wheels turning. What's going on over there?
I have an idea for an escaped cultist look. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. I'm excited to see it.
Down with the Great Gourd.
So some of the more far-flung places in the setting, all the way to Zanesville. Zanesville is very magic effuse. Like they have magical clay there, so they have drones that are essentially clay golems, and armor and buildings made of magic pottery, right? But you go to Springfield, and it's an industrial city now, and that's the exact opposite direction. If you go south, about as far south, the big settlement, you've got the Circle, but you also have Lancaster is now called Lancaster, and that is like a fully digital city.
I will forever mispronounce it properly.
Always.
Delaware has become the city of Delhi, and they make a lot of food there. Marysville, they just changed the spelling from Mary, like Mary had a little lamb, to Mary's, like we have a good merry time. Marysville. It's just, I'm really proud of the work that we put into this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Groveport. You know what? I want to save Groveport as a surprise.
Don't forget Hanna.
Oh, that's right. So the city of Hanna is now just called Hanna, and it grew up around a brewery.
My off-campus parking is always going to be my favorite. I'm sorry, but if you ever brought up, I want to go to off-campus parking, that is gotta be the most top-tier role-play name. And then you can make it serious, OTP, you know, but off-campus parking. Come on now.
Yes.
It's OCP.
Sorry. OTP.
Toilet parking? Like,
You're not getting up for a while if you're there.
Now, the government district is cool, and there are a few buildings and things that are outside of one of the hoods, like COSI is now a fortress.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still a museum.
Now, if you've ever been to Columbus, Ohio as well, if you've lived here and spent some time here, you will recognize all of these places.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's very cool because there's tons of Easter eggs.
Tons
Is
of
it
them.
150?
Oh, yeah.
There are 150 Easter eggs in this book.
It's easily identifiable as like, oh my gosh, I live there, you know? So it's very cool and very connectable. And then if you have ever been here, it's a place you can really come to and see Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And that would help involve your gameplay of like knowing where things are. Like, I know this place is up
In the last
north
week,
of it.
I've been driving around, and I was like, hey, so here's where the wall is.
Right, it's very
and
cool.
My favorite that I've like come across in the books is the cornfield. It's not an actual cornfield.
These
concrete corn.
corn.
They're animated. In the book.
In our story, the magic brought them to life. There are stone golems that, when they sit still, look like a giant ear of corn.
That's less. You took Alice in Wonderland and made it trippier.
Yeah, it's wild. So we really hope that you enjoy this one. I'm really excited about it.
Very excited.
You guys want to give a few examples of some of your favorite items before we close this out?
Yes. Very exciting. Along with my Sonic kind of persona, I have a headliner grenade. It is a flashbang. I have two of them. It's like a flashbang just for a little crowd control. It doesn't hurt nobody. It just
Not directly.
kind of bang. You know, I love this. I have two of them, and I plan to use them very poorly. Very exciting.
Hey, remember that thing we said about how easy it was to die?
Well, I mean, I didn't assume that you were being serious. So.
What else do you like?
My favorite, it has to be the Gourd Ryan shield, the one that I stole.
Okay,
when I
tell us
escaped.
about it.
So it's from the Great Pumpkin.
Circleville.
and-
The circle.
Any drones or vehicles that make a melee attack against it have words. I'm so sorry. Words are very hard right now.
It happens.
Make a device test against it that's at like a disadvantage.
So the magic in it makes it harder for tech to hit it.
Yes, but just at random points in time, the matron, gets to talk to me.
That's going to be fun.
Come
Yep.
home, darling.
And that's my
treat
favorite
yourself to
aspect
the
of it.
pumpkin.
Like, I don't care that vehicle and tech has like disadvantage against me. Cool.
You
It's
just
the
like
fact
that
that-
somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
It's the fact that I don't know if I'm going crazy or not.
All right, I like that. Is there any other item that really stuck out to you or something you really liked from the setting?
I really like a lot of the spells that you added.
Okay, like what?
Asphalt Weed. I really like Asphalt Weed.
What do you like? Excuse me. What do you like about asphalt weed?
I really like that you can turn the concrete literally into mush, but that it can also damage people if you're not careful
That's
with it.
So-
kind of like quicksand. Automatic
It makes
quicksand.
so the rains that fall, it kind of soaks in with this weird chemical aroma that can burn you. Like,
Yeah.
If you stay out in it, you can take damage from the rainstorms.
Yeah.
And Asphalt Leap uses magic to make, like, the setting says that it doesn't rain, it oozes. Well, that's what happens is, like, Asphalt Leap as a spell causes all of that oozy rain to start to seep out of all of the asphalt and concrete from everywhere. And it's toxic and it's slick.
Yep.
And it can damage
It's
your
just
opponents.
regular runoff.
Yeah. So that is actually one of the Easter eggs. If you've ever been in Columbus during a severe rainstorm and seen the oil slicks that form in the gutters, like
It's not a pothole, but it'll still hurt you.
yeah, it's pretty awful and gross. And like if you reach down and you touch the water right there, it's
Why would
just
you do
greasy.
that?
I was a kid when I did it.
Oh, why?
Yeah. So anyway,
Everyone has
Columbus is not a filthy city. It's like, but there is something about the asphalt.
There's something about the asphalt, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right.
So what's your favorite stuff out of the setting?
So I am amused about the Guard Tower Peacekeeper Heavy Pistol because it still carries the ethos of the Guard Tower. Non-lethal ammo only. If you put in lethal ammo, it will brick it until it gets repaired by a Guard Tower certified smith.
That is
it cannot
funny.
fire deadly ammunition. Period.
It's really
That's
funny, and it has to be
hilarious.
repaired by someone at the guard tower as well. So you have to be like,
So you have to be
"Hey,
like, I might have
I
accidentally
tried to
put the
kill
wrong thing in."
someone.
It's like I tried to shoot this guy and my gun
Fix
broke.
it. Can you fix it?
And then I love that we have holidays. Not just holidays throughout the year, but that are unique to the area.
Yeah.
November, Rivalry Week.
Yes. Oh.
That's actually
my
a
gosh.
throwback to the OSU homecoming game
Yes,
against
absolutely.
Michigan.
Yep.
That's why it's so funny.
Yeah, tell the people a little bit about it.
Most politically charged holiday of the year.
Except at the guard tower.
Politically charged holiday.
That's what it says. The entire sprawl symbolically chooses sides on the Ori-Emory conflict, often using the framework of the old OSU-Michigan football rivalry.
Oh my gosh.
Ones aligned with Tech fly Ori's corporate colors, while those with magical or independent leanings display Emory's symbols. The week is filled with pranks, cyber sabotage, and heated arguments, culminating in a heavily sponsored urban brawl grudge match at the horseshoe between the Ori-funded team and the Emory batch.
Yeah, so in November, Ori actually lets people into their campus to come to the horseshoe for the rivalry day.
That's great.
amazing.
It's perfect.
Now, Ori's big thing is they're actually using it to generate money,
Yeah.
to keep tabs on the citizens, and to look for people with magic potential that they can abduct.
Oh, absolutely.
But to the public, nah, man, this is a giant game. Everybody show. It's gonna be great.
Tradition.
That's like the one day where they open the gates from off-campus parking to Ori, but then the game's over. Get out or you're dead.
That'll do it. That's great. It's really great. I love the rivalry aspect of it. It's just.
We tied that to, though, like, there have been riots in Columbus during the
Yes.
OSU games against Michigan.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's why they locked down. They're like, nope, no riots, get out.
Get out.
Go back to off-campus parking. And then back at OCP, there'll be couches flipped over in the front yard.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that for? We're celebrating Rivalry Day.
That's really great.
What else you like? Give me one more thing out of there that sticks out to you.
Well, I didn't have it saved. Where's the weather? Is it right
Oh, the
before here?
weather is so cool.
What's your favorite part about it?
The black snow, the fact that it is toxic is such a cool aspect. The fact that every season has something wrong with it. Because take Ohio, if you've ever lived here, you know that the weather will be 80 degrees one day, nice and bright and sunny, and then the next day it could literally snow.
That is
Ohio.
true.
I've seen
And
it.
so the weather aspect
It was
of
storming
having
10 minutes ago, and now there's not a cloud in the sky.
nothing. It's insane. Especially the temperature fluctuates so well. So each season that we have in here has different. I can't remember what the other ones are off the top of my head, but I know that in winter there's a toxic black snow that comes through.
Well, the
You have to
summer is
have-
the scorch, where
Yeah.
it has the green and purple lightning, and the magic just hits hard.
Oh yeah,
Or in the fall, you have the fade. Yeah,
it's very cool.
Very much so. I'm very happy with our weather.
Oh,
mechanic.
for sure. It's a very cool mechanic that not a lot of people touch on as well. It's not very thought upon. There's like weather, but in terms of like seasons of like this just happens.
Right. So
And
for
then
a whole 3
the
months of the
society,
year,
yeah,
magic
adapting
is
to
just
that.
popping.
Yeah, society adapts to that and is used to that at that point of like everyone has their masks ready for the winter, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
And the juxtaposition of spring, the thaw. Spring is not a season of renewal in the Sprawl, it is a season of rot. As a winter's black snow melts, it releases trapped pollutants and toxins, turning the Barrens into a treacherous landscape of acidic mud and overflowing chemical-choked rivers.
Especially in the QZ. Yeah.
it's very cool. The ideas of it are very cool, and they're very based in like kind of real life kind of thing of like not just crazy out there of like in springtime.
It's real life, but then it's exaggerated.
Yeah, it's way
Yeah.
exaggerated.
So give me two of your favorite things out of here.
So I love my Go Gang bike very
Okay.
much. So it is a kind of like it's a motorcycle-like vehicle.
Right.
That in my notes has a top speed of 300,
It's crazy.
but it will explode.
If mishandled, it blows up.
I just kind of
Just a little juice. Not
So
too much juice.
in our setting, currently there's a car show every year called the Good Guys National, right? Excuse me.
So generous.
There's a car show every year called the Good Guys Nationals, and that's in here too. It's called GGN Spec. People will soup up their cars with exposed engines, and then they hold races around 270. And those, when I'm talking holding races, it's like they put those walls up for a reason.
yeah.
There will be really big nasties sometimes
Yes.
on the freeway. Now, the Brutes, they run a transportation system called C-Mech. And C-Mech is basically like CODA. It's the buses that take you from hood to hood, but they are armed. And like in Ohio, you got the OHIO. Well, they have something called the OHIO protocol, which is like original human. Anyway, they go up and it's a request for your SIN number, basically. But then like there's a nod that you give when you get on and off the bus. They'll get out and they'll tap tap on the edge of the bus as they're getting off, and that's how people know you're a local. They get to
Yeah.
recognize
Yeah,
you.
that little tap tap.
There's lots of little cues and clues and Easter eggs
It's all
in
social
the
behavior,
system.
It's all
Right, to
body
try to make it
behavior.
feel real.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, hey, thanks for the ride. That I'm local, I know you, I've been here. That kind of thing. It's a respect thing as well, which I thought was very cool.
Yeah.
And then one other thing that I like, which we've touched on, is the Henrys. So the backstory behind that,
Yeah.
I thought I was going crazy. So over the course of years, I'm talking since I was starting when I was 12, I would see spray painted on bridges and all
Just
over
says Henry.
Columbus. It's just Henry, and I'm like, who is this guy? 'Cause I
Or
keep seeing
gas
it.
pumps that are written in marker, and it'll say Henry.
I thought it was going crazy because one time I saw it as big as like my finger, right, written in Sharpie on a gas pump. What
Yeah.
are the odds? It was driving me nuts. So I brought it up to my dad. And I'm like, hey, so I've been seeing this everywhere. I feel like we're
I'm
crazy.
not her real dad. She's talking about her real dad.
So I would bring it up. He's like, "You're going crazy. This is not real." And I'm like, "I'm gonna make it real." So I take a picture of it every time, and it's become so frequent. I noticed when he went away for a couple of years, and now he's back.
I think you just weren't going to the areas where they pop up because I've seen them for years.
It's just something. Who is this person? Where did they come from?
so we
now,
included that.
We incorporated something so small as a graffiti or a specific graffiti artist into these adrenaline junkies that go in and do all kinds of crazy stuff and then sell their chips, and it's a whole gang of them. It's a whole society of them. It's really cool and very developed.
Jade
So
felt
something
very
so-
validated.
It was really great, and it's cool having something incorporated, something that you see every day
Mm-hmm.
that might not even be that big of a deal, but it's like we're gonna exaggerate that into this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we could do that
Absolutely.
for you. All right.
And I'm gonna tell my dad, and I'm gonna make him eat his words.
All right, give me your top three.
So item-wise, my kind of favorite item that I picked out was the CAC Statement Adaptive Jacket. And it is a
That's
armored...
the C-Bus Art Collective,
Yes.
CAC.
So it is an armored jacket that is all covered in like electronic parts that shift to whatever you want, and you program it, and
It'll display
It'll
whatever
display
you want
whatever
to
you want.
display.
So-
What does yours display?
so I haven't quite figured that out, but I get the feeling that it's probably going to display like a battle jacket kind of thing,
Okay.
patches, that kind of thing, but in a more electronic form because he's into that kind of thing, right? Electronics. So
Is he going to have a Henry tag?
I don't know yet. Like I said, he's much less of an adrenaline junkie, but he's more of like he's willing to do what he's got to do kind of
He
thing.
could be
right?
a Henry fan.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He buys the chips and stuff.
What's
you know?
another one?
And then just a lot of the stuff that I really like has already kind of been touched on, right? Where it's like all the different seasons. It's very interesting to see just kind of the different effects that they have, and how people have adapted to dealing with them in the Sprawl. And then just as somebody who has lived in Columbus most of my life, getting to see just all these different things kind of come together to make one whole is very interesting.
That's awesome. So this was a collaborative effort, even though I'm the creative director of it. Everything in here is derived from input that we received either from someone at this table or
Someone
Chris
who
in
lives
the
here,
booth. And then we actually had a lot of locals who found out that we were making this, and they were just like, hey, can you include this thing? In fact,
People in the short north should be dwarves. Thanks, Scott.
yeah, thanks, Scott. That's so hilarious. Though.
It was great. That's
And
why
then he
I'm
was like,
playing a
get
dwarf.
it, the short north? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was hilarious. Well, is there anything else that you guys would like to share about this before we close this out and in the next episode they'll get to see the adventure start?
The vehicles are so funny.
Okay,
so
go
I'm
ahead.
looking at the Spin Red Global main event. It's a mobile stage. A massive chrome-plated tractor trailer that unfolds into a concert stage, fighting arena, or outdoor trio theater. But each of the vehicles has its downside, so this one, the instability is, on a glitch during deployment or retraction, the system jams, leaving it half unfolded and completely immobile until repaired.
So you just like, gosh dang it, you throw your hat down because you're trying to drive and your car is half of
Your
the
head's off
stage.
screen.
I'm trying. Your car is half tractor, half stage.
Oh no, the
battle tractor.
The battle tractor from Delhi.
There's a battle tractor.
There
Yeah.
it is. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Did you not read it?
I didn't read all
It's
the
a
vehicles.
lot
I
to
think
go
there is a lot. You wrote 280 pages. I did not mean to be-
218.
It's still a lot, thank you.
Delhi. What was it?
It's the Delhi Battle Tractor.
I got the Harvester Tractor. Hang on.
Harvester tractor.
It's the.
I forget the exact name that I gave it.
Not Harvester?
It might be. Read the Harvester.
Okay. Massive all-terrain agricultural vehicle retrofitted for defense. With
Yeah, that's it.
enormous rugged wheels and a heavily armored cab. The instability. The Harvester's engine is designed for torque, not speed, making it incredibly slow.
It's a battle tractor.
Oh, that's great.
So you could ride that thing up the street real slow. It's heavily defended, has lots of guns. It's real slow.
A tank that farms.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so there's one more that I want to talk about, right? Okay. And there's a piece of lore that was a special request from a very special person, and that's Scotty. So I have been asked for several years now by Scotty, who is the reason that the guard tower exists. He wanted me to make a show about cowboys and aliens. And so I saw a perfect opportunity, and that's why we have the Columbus Zoo anomaly.
Oh, yeah.
It's aliens.
Yeah.
And in our story, there is another group that no one can actually, you can't play as a part of it. It's just part of the lore called the Cowboys. And the, essentially they're Native Americans that dress as cowboys, and they ride these giant mechanical drones that are completely silent. And they are kind of somewhere between the Lone Ranger and like Old West sheriffs mixed with Shadowrun.
Yeah.
And the reason they came to the C-Bus Sprawl is to hunt aliens.
Yeah.
And so, just for Scotty, we have included the cowboys and aliens.
Mm-hmm. That makes me so
And I hope you love it.
That's great. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
I'm very excited, and so I really look forward to being able to run this with you guys. I hope that you and our audience are excited about this.
Very.
We are going to add a lot of the cultural details to World Anvil, but because we are looking to actually have a sellable book created, we will limit the number of spells and gear that we put on World Anvil.
Yeah.
But just so that you can get an idea of it, we're going to have that on World Anvil very soon. If you are watching this video and you don't yet see a link in the description to the World Anvil page, keep checking back because we're going to put it there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for watching, and please check in with us for our next episode, which will be next Saturday, as we begin running in the C-Bus Sprawl for Shadowrun 6th edition.
Woo! So excited.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon. Remember to like and subscribe.